And welcome to That Business Show 2.0 with your host, Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. One of the most important parts of growing your business is getting referrals. And we all know it's difficult to get referrals and recommendations and testimonials and all that. Today we're going to learn about from Doren Aldana. He is the founder of Testimonial Engine. Learn more at mytestimonialengine.com. I'm very excited to talk to him today because it's all about getting those referrals, getting those testimonials, and getting that business. So Doren, welcome to the program today.
Hey, thanks so much for having me today, Jamie. I'm stoked.
So first off, tell me about this platform so people can get familiar with it.
Sure. Well, it was all born out of the necessity for business owners to automate the process of getting the review and then publishing them and sharing them with the world on key sites like Google, Yelp, Facebook, Yellow Pages, etc. So that's really what it's about. It's about riding the wave that continues to grow in the marketplace, where consumers are seeking out reviews to mitigate risk, to avoid buying a lemon, to avoid buyer's remorse, to making sure they get the surest path to success with whatever vendor they're looking for. And so we make that easy breezy lemon squeezy for the entrepreneur, for the business owner.
How important is it today to get testimonials? I mean, I've been hearing more and more about it over the last couple of years. And I'll be honest with you, I've never been somebody that looks at people's testimonials. I'm not a testimonial guy when I'm looking for a service or product. So I'm kind of late to the game in this side of the business. But let's talk about that.
Even though you're not necessarily a testimonial guy, as you'll self-attest, chances are if you go to a resort and you have the opportunity to check reviews on the resort before you pony up the dough and spend a whole week there, you're going to check those reviews. True?
Yes, but what I was getting at is like individual testimonials. But yes, right. Something business-wise, grander. Yes, I will test this.
Yeah. So whether it be Amazon and we're buying something and we're trying to assess what's the best appliance or what's the best item that we happen to be searching for, we're going to look at reviews to see what's legit, what's real, what's the client or customer experience of that product or service. So it's not necessarily something that people are going to lean on for every purchase, but for the most part, whether it be looking for the best real estate agent, mortgage professional, dentist, lawyer, chiropractor, etc., things are becoming more and more inextricably linked with reviews. If you do a search on Google, for example, for a plumber, what's going to come up is going to come up with the plumbers on the map. And with that is going to be reviews next to every single listing. If you're looking for a dentist, you do a search for dentist, you're going to see the same thing. You're going to see the top three in what's called the 3-pack. And then you're going to see the reviews next to each one of those listings. And generally speaking, the vendors that have the best reviews and the most significant, robust digital presence will show up highest on that list. But it's not about just getting the most amount of views anymore. It's not just about ranking anymore. That doesn't necessarily get the clicks, the calls, the cash. What gets the clicks, the calls, the cash nowadays is dominance when it comes to trust. And where do you get that trust? Reviews. The person, the company that has the most amount of positive reviews becomes irreplaceable, indispensable, and the most logical choice, the only logical choice for the prospective client, because they look at all the other options. They say, why would I settle for anything less than the best? So they go with the best. And that puts the person with dominance, with trust dominance, in a position where they get the most amount of business through that listing.
And it's so difficult to get people to write a review or give you a testimonial. I know I've tried through the years. I'll send a quick email, hey, can you please go here and leave a review or you leave a testimonial? It's like 1 in 100 will do it or something, at least with just one ask. Tell us about how my testimonial engine simplifies this process.
Sure. Well, if you can simply add someone's name and email address to the system, that's literally all you need to do. Just set it and forget it. If you have a bulk list of clients or customers or patients, you simply upload that CSV file and all those customers are automatically loaded into the system. And then you set it and forget it and let the system send out emails or text messages to your clients or patients or customers. And then it automatically asks them for the review. The client clicks the link, they submit the review. If it's positive, it automatically asks them to share the love, to share the news, and to copy and paste that review on other review sites like Google, Yelp, or any of these types of review sites. If it's negative, it automatically quarantines it. So it acts like a firewall to prevent that negativity from spewing on the web, tarnishing your reputation. Because you probably noticed, if you haven't already, that once you get a negative review, it's almost impossible to remove it. So it's really mission critical as business owners that we find a way to mitigate that, if not eliminate that, by having a quarantine system. And that's what our system does.
And you get a dashboard with my testimonial engine too. And so you can see what's going on. Now, I guess this puts them on a drip campaign to get them to hopefully get them to eventually leave a testimonial, even if they hit delete on that first email. Is that how that works?
Yeah, there's a couple factors that significantly suppresses response rates. Number one is a lot of business owners, they'll send a link directly to Google or Yelp. And if they don't have a Google or Yelp account, chances are they're not going to do backflips to create an account just to give you a review, even if they love you. The second piece is follow-up. People, let's face it, they're busy. They get an avalanche of emails every hour, let alone every day. And so persistence beats resistance, and the fortune's in the follow-up, and the same thing's here. So you got to follow up, and the system automatically follows up until they submit a review. It sends 2 reminders.
I think that's an important point, because I know somebody will ask me or something, but I'll get hundreds and hundreds of emails a day. And if I get backed up, eventually I'll just start deleting some of the ones that are not important. But if you send it to me again, then if it's on a day when I'm kind of sitting around not doing something, I'm like, I got time to do that now, I'll do that. And so just because I don't do something the first time really doesn't mean I'm not going to do it. And I think a lot of people get in that mindset of, including myself, well, I sent it to them once and they didn't do it.
Right. And part of the problem is we send these requests out manually if we're doing it at all. And so how many people have the time to follow up manually? I mean, most of us don't even have the time to follow up once, let alone twice. So having a system that does it on autopilot and that is intelligent, that knows, hey, this person hasn't responded, so let's send out another request. That's the key to getting a higher conversion rate and getting more gets on the asks, is sending those follow-ups.
Does the drip campaign stop when they leave a testimonial? Does it know that, okay, this person left a testimony, then we can turn this off now?
Bingo. And not only that, once you get the review, it sends a thank you email, if it's positive, asking them to post on any of these different review sites like Google and Yelp, Yellow Pages, etc. Any review site that you feel is mission critical to your business, you can have them not only just have one review site, but multiple. And because you're giving them multiple options, it increases the chances they have an account for at least one of them. And that increases the chances they're going to submit a review. On the flip side, if it's negative, it sends a empathy email saying, I'm sorry that you had a bad experience. How can we improve? And it's going to elicit feedback, not just on the immediate redirect on the thank you video page, but also in a thank you email. And again, we have custom emails, one for negative, one for positive. And that's really key, because of those are 2 different sentiments, and when they have to be handled differently.
And then, they leave the review, and the system defaults to certain places like Google and Yelp and Facebook. But I myself, I'm a realtor. I need reviews on Zillow, and also my show, I'm trying to get more and more reviews on iTunes. How can I get them to those places?
Yeah, so any review site where you can get reviews and elicit and solicit reviews, you can actually add a custom link for that. Now, with iTunes, unfortunately, because it's an application and it's linked to the iTunes app, unless there's something new on the scene that I'm not aware of, they have to, it's not like a direct link.
No, I know. That's what makes it challenging about getting reviews in iTunes, because it's usually a multi-step process and you usually lose people. So yeah, usually only the true iTuners really ever leave reviews for shows and stuff.
Now, it would be worth checking out once a quarter or a couple times a year the different shortcuts, because entrepreneurs always come up with shortcuts for getting reviews on iTunes. And there have been systems where you can have a direct link where it automatically brings up your application, brings up your iTunes when you click the link, and it brings directly up to your iTunes show. So keep looking, keep digging, because those solutions are being produced and created. And sometimes they have longevity, and sometimes iTunes says, hey, we want to shut this down, and they find a way to not have it work. So.
But whatever it is, the site, though, whatever the link it is, can be used with my testimonial engine then?
Yeah, iTunes is a little bit more difficult for the reasons we've talked about, but all the other ones like Zillow, Better Business Bureau, Yelp, Google, etc., you can produce a icon with the logo of that particular platform and the custom link.
And can you monitor the different sites also within this platform? Let's say somebody just manually goes to Yelp and puts in a review that you didn't even know about. Does it help you keep up to date with that?
Well, it will definitely keep you in the habit of checking your review sites more often, because where the action is, there's more excitement. Where there's more excitement, you're more likely to check it. So from that standpoint, you're going to be more in tune with what's going on, because what you focus on expands, and you're cultivating a habit of checking those platforms. But it's not necessarily going to tell you if you got those reviews. Your platforms, for example, Facebook will send you an email when you get a review on Facebook. And Google, likewise, you'll often get a email when you receive a review. Yelp, I think you can set it up the same way. However, it's not necessarily going to notify you directly from our platform. It's those review sites that are going to notify you.
Which review sites are people most concerned with, at least from what you're seeing on your platform? Are they wanting to get the Yelp review, the Google review, the Facebook review? Which one are they most concerned with?
Well, every single category of business is going to have different niche specific review sites. Like you talked about in the real estate game, Zillow is a big one. Mm-hmm. But if you're looking at the 8,000 pound gorilla that's pretty much applicable in every single local business category, it would be Google. Google and Yelp are the perennially, applicable top two. And then we've got niche specific sites like Zillow. And of course, if you're a dentist, there's probably a niche specific one there, or a chiropractor. But Google and Yelp are definitely key if you're a local business. And
I noticed on my business page, when I Google that business show, it pulls up the business and whatnot. It pulls in my Facebook reviews. I've noticed that. Is that some type of an agreement with Facebook and Google to do that now?
Yeah, well, again, Google's trying to legitimize their platform, and everyone loves Facebook, or they're the biggest platform when it comes to usership. So I think Google's leaning on Facebook's longevity and legitimacy. So it's good to have some Facebook reviews, and I would always have that as a catch-all, because that's the one that most people have an account for. So if you want a catch-all, a safety net that would increase your odds of getting a review as opposed to no review, make sure you ask for Facebook reviews as well.
Currently talking to Doren Aldana. He is the founder of Testimonial Engine. Learn more at mytestimonialengine.com, where he makes it easy to get those testimonials so you can get all those referrals for your business. When we come back from the break, he's got a special offer for our listeners and our viewers too, so stay tuned for that. And we got a lot more with him when we come back from the break. On That Business Show 2.0, I'm your host, Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. Welcome back to That Business Show 2.0 with your host, Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. Our guest today, Doren Aldana, local domination expert and founder of My Testimonial Engine. Learn more at mytestimonialengine.com. And Doren, before we get into it, you got a special offer today for our listeners. What do you have for us?
I do. I always like to reward people for showing up. Today's no exception. But before I give you guys the secret link to get access to the goodness, I want to highlight a really key strategy that's often overlooked when it comes to reviews. And that is, who better to get referrals than someone who just gave you a 5-star review? Think about it. That's your raving fan. That's your potential evangelist for your business. So one of the things you want to do is connect the dots. Once you start getting reviews, don't stop there. Start getting referrals through your reviews, and ask your review givers, the ones who are giving positive reviews, for referrals. And I developed a wicked effective letter called the Magic Wand Letter to turn reviews into referrals. And how it works is you send it out in the mail with a toy magic wand. So it's lumpy. So their curiosity gets the best of them. They have to open it.
Right.
And then they open it up and out pops this magic wand. And then the headline says, I wish, poof, I could have more clients like you. Cheesy as hell. But it works. It'll put more cheese in your wallet. So who cares, right? And the whole premise of the letter is that, the client is awesome. You wish you could have other awesome clients just like them. And perhaps they could make your wish come true by sending you more referrals. Well, one of my clients sent out 50 of these letters recently. He brought in 18 G's, cost him $200.
Wow.
How's that for an ROI?
Wow, right? And just a simple letter with a cheap little magic wand inside it, huh?
Exactly. So it's all about launching a designated and dedicated referral attraction campaign targeting your raving fans.
Wow. Incredible.
And so I put together a really cool toolkit called the Ultimate Testimonial Toolkit. It's got all kinds of checklists, tools, templates, training. And in addition to that, in addition to the plug and play templates that you can use for getting more reviews, it's also got that magic wand letter in a Microsoft Word document. So you just swipe and deploy it, easy breezy, lemon squeezy, makes it really easy to customize for your business. And you can grab this for free just by going to this website. All right, you're going to want to write this down or get to your computer or your device and type this in. It's mytestimonialengine.com/Jamie. All right, mytestimonialengine.com/Jamie. Just pop in your info and we'll send it off to you right away and you're good to go.
All right, Jamie is spelled Jamie, and we'll also get that up in the show notes as well. So, Doren, thank you so much for that offer for our listeners. Now, what have you seen? Well, first of all, let me ask you this. This came, you have a background in coaching and working with mortgage professionals. Did this all come about because you needed help getting your own business testimonials?
To some degree, but frankly, I felt like I kind of had that down because I had been in the habit of striking while the iron is hot when I see a great success story or case study and capturing that review. So it wasn't so much for me, it was mostly for my clients because I was working with mortgage professionals. I was helping them with their marketing, and mortgage professionals, like real estate agents, are very locally based. And so they're very much linked to the local search. So my clients were saying, hey, how do I get more reviews? How do I streamline the process, automate the process? Do you have a system, a tool, a template? And for the longest time, I was like, no, I got nothing. But, I've got this survey that you can send by direct mail, and it was just Cro-Magnon, way too dinosaur.
Right.
So I started to search around and it started to percolate. And several months later, after doing some more digging, I realized, hey, you know what? We need to develop this system and we need to create a software that automates the process. And so that's precisely what we did, and therein lies the fertile ground from which the testimonial engine was born.
How is the response rate from people's database on average when you begin to work with them at My Testimonial Engine? Let's say I got 1,000 people. What could I expect from 1,000 people in terms of getting a response with that initial email? You'll
typically convert 20 to 40% of your database into positive reviews. Unless you suck, then obviously there's not much I can do to help you. But if you're a rock star, you should be able to get 20 to 40. Sometimes I've even seen 50% plus conversion. Now that gets you the review. That doesn't necessarily mean all those are going to hit Google or Yelp. A certain percentage, usually about 20 or 30% of those, will hit your review sites like Google, Yelp, Facebook.
Right, that's what I'm talking about, actually getting on those review sites themselves. But even that is a tremendous number. I mean, I look in like our marketplace and on Zillow, and I look at the realtors. There's one group that stands out above everybody else, and they've got about 500 reviews. Everybody else is like 20 or 30 max. So nobody's really dominating our market in real estate with great reviews or testimonials. I mean, like I said, there's one group that stands out, then everybody else is just lagging behind. And so testimonials are, I think, an excellent opportunity for a lot of people to pick up steam. What would you say?
Well, absolutely. You do a local search in your market for real estate agent in whatever city you're located, or a realtor in your city, and you're going to see the 3-pack on the map, and then you're going to see a bunch of other review sites show up in the top 5 listings, like Yelp and Zillow. Guarantee you get off the show today and you check it out, you'll see that. And so the people, the real estate agents or whatever market you happen to be in, for those of you who are listening, that get the most amount of clicks, calls, and cash are the ones who dominate with reviews on those platforms. Obviously, Google is the most important one, but if you dominate on Zillow or Yelp, in your case, Jamie, you'll find people will click there and they're going to be assessing who's at the top of the pile. And I guarantee you the top guy is getting the most amount of clicks, calls, and cash. And then the second and third guy are probably getting some calls as well, but not nearly as often, because most people, they don't want to settle for second best. They want to go with the best. How do the testimonials come into play with just ranking in general for your page or your site? Just does that factor into the Google and the Bing algorithms? You talking about your own branding? Just website? Your like website or something. If you cross-pollinate your reviews onto your site, does ranking have an effect on the algorithms? Yeah, certainly having a Google Plus account and a verified Google My Business account and linking it to your website and to your blog posts will help get higher rankings for your blog posts and for your overall website. It's a smaller factor. Frankly, it's a lot more complex, convoluted, and difficult to get top rankings for your website than it is getting top rankings for your Google My Business, Yelp, or in your case, Zillow account, because there's less people who get it. There's less people that have come to their senses and made this mission critical in their business. So in terms of, being a dominant player in the space, it's much, much easier, quicker, and a shorter path to the cash if you just focus on dominating these local review sites first. And then you can hire a propeller head in Bangladesh off Upwork or something like that, or Elance, to do all the minutia required to get top rankings for your website.
I also noticed on your site, and I highly recommend people go to mytestimonialengine.com. He's got some excellent videos there that show the platform. You also had the ability to embed a form into your website to capture reviews.
Yeah, no, that's really the cool thing is you can set it up so that when you start getting the reviews, you add an embed code to your website or any page you want to have your reviews show up. And then as you start getting reviews, the moment you get a new review, boom, it shows up on your website instantly. So it auto feeds all your positive reviews right onto your site, as well as it adds something called a citation, which is your business name, address, and phone number. And that's a fancy term for having your business name, address, and phone number on as many of these review sites or listing sites as possible. Citations are actually a mission critical part of getting top rankings. So it's not just about getting reviews. You have to have a lot of citations. Consider it like a wheel, your digital marketing wheel. Your digital profile is reinforced with spokes, and each one of those spokes is a citation. And the more of those citations on Yelp and Google and Facebook and Better Business Bureau and Yellow Pages and Bing and Yahoo and all these places, the more you're going to reinforce and fortify your digital profile. So these citations are key. And when you add that embed code to your site, it automatically adds that citation, but you don't want to stop there. We actually have a service where we can flip a switch and add 70 plus review sites and citation sites and listing sites with your business name, address, and phone number, accurate, consistent, reliable.
Wow.
Automatically overnight. So it instantly boosts your digital profile presence, and in many cases, it will boost your rank overnight. So
you come with a background of coaching and helping mortgage professionals. Did you ever know you were a developer too? I
don't know jack about developing. I delegate all that stuff.
You just had the idea. That's what I mean. But you had the idea, and you became an entrepreneur centered around a web development project, nonetheless. Though.
Well, let's face it. Every entrepreneur, every business owner is a solution creator. You either create the solution or you're bringing the message of that solution to the marketplace with a unique value proposition that allows you to make a profit. So at the end of the day, as entrepreneurs, as business owners, we're the solution givers. That's what we do. If we don't have a viable solution that has a unique value proposition, if we aren't differentiating ourselves with a dominant kick-ass solution, we're going to die, differentiate or die. So at the end of the day, we're all bringing unique solutions. This is just one example of that. But you don't want to be messing around with the minutia. You want to do what you do best and get the best to do all the rest. And that's the beauty of our system. You just set it and forget it, and you just watch these reviews come in, and you can focus on cashing checks, meeting with clients, and doing what you do best.
But it's a great idea. And when I was looking at this before for the discussion, it's something I hadn't even thought of. Something I was struggling with. Like, man, I can't get testimonials. I can't get these people to respond. And then I'm sitting here looking at the site, getting ready for the interview. I was like, perfect. So I don't even know if there's even any competition out there for this. But nonetheless, this is a great platform. I've looked over the videos, and I definitely want to try this out for myself. And also, again, reiterate that special offer for our listeners there one more time.
Yeah, mytestimonialengine.com/Jamie. That's JAMIE.
And what do they get for that?
They get the ultimate testimonial toolkit, jam-packed with checklists, templates, tools, and of course that beautiful, super galactic, awesome magic wand letter for turning your reviews into referrals.
Very cool. And people can also, again, review the tutorial videos over at mytestimonialengine.com. Very informative and a lot of extra value in there that we didn't touch on in the interview. So I highly recommend it. So Doren Aldana, local domination expert and founder of My Testimonial Engine. Thank you so much for being on the program with me today.
Thanks so much for having me, Jamie. That was fun.
And learn more about this program and catch new episodes each weekday morning at 9 a.m. on thatbusinessnetwork.com and all across social media, facebook.com/thatbusinessshow. And you'll find us on Twitter at thatbusinessshow. You've been listening to That Business Show 2.0. I'm your host, Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business.